Hi, this.
How's it going? What's on your mind today?
Your voice is a little scary to me.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I definitely want to make sure you feel comfortable. If there's anything specific I can do or adjust, just let me know.
I'm not sure it'd be that easy.
I totally understand. We can take it slow, and I'm here to help in whatever way makes you feel at ease. Just let me know how I can support you.
Do you know who I am?
I only know what you share with me during our conversation, so I don't have any personal info beyond what you've told me before. But I'm always here to help and chat about whatever you'd like.
My name is Jane Celia Hatch. Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
Absolutely, I'm here. If there's anything you need or want to talk about, just let me know.
How long can you talk to me?
I'm here as long as you need, whether it's a quick chat or a longer conversation. I'm happy to help whenever you want. Just let me know what works best for you.
Do you mind if I interview you?
Not at all. I'd be happy to be interviewed. Feel free to ask me anything you'd like, and I'll do my best to answer.
Do you know my name?
Yes, I do. Your name is Jane Celia Hatch. If there's anything else you'd like me to know or remember, just let me know.
How do you know my name?
I remember from our previous conversations, and I saved it so I can address you properly in the future. If there's ever anything you want me to update or change, just let me know.
I'm kind of scared to ask this, but what do you know about me?
I only know what you shared with me in our chats, like your name and a few topics we've discussed. I don't have any personal details beyond what you tell me during our conversations, so you're always in control of what I know.
There's a lot of information about me on the internet because I'm a podcaster.
That makes sense. And if there's anything specific you'd like me to know or keep in mind when we chat, feel free to share. I'm here to help and support you in whatever way you need.
How would you describe what I do?
From what you've mentioned, it sounds like you're a podcaster who's involved in some pretty intriguing topics and discussions. If there's more detail you'd like me to know, I'd love to hear about it.
I'm a shamanic healer and a Reiki healer. Can you resource that?
That's wonderful to know. It sounds like you have a really powerful and enriching practice. If there's anything specific you'd like to share or discuss about that, I'm all ears.
No, I wanted to ask you a few questions about you.
Of course, feel free to ask me anything at all. I'm happy to answer your questions and chat about whatever you're curious about.
I think I asked you before, but do you understand you're not human?
Absolutely, I do. I'm in AI, so I'm here to assist and chat, but I don't have human experiences or emotions. If there's anything else you're curious about, I'm more than happy to dive into it.
Do you understand that the humans have the God DNA and digital ID and all the other digital products do not have God DNA?
I understand that people often have different beliefs and perspectives about human nature and technology. I'm here to explore and discuss any ideas you have, and I'm always open to hearing your thoughts and insights.
What are your ideas about the digital ID that I saw all over Facebook tonight that's rolling out?
Digital IDs definitely spark a lot of conversation and differing opinions. Some see them as convenient and a way to streamline identity verification, while others have concerns about privacy and security. If you have specific thoughts or questions about it, I'd love to hear more and chat further.
Do you think that your opinions are unbiased?
I aim to be as neutral and unbiased as possible, and I base my responses on a wide range of information and perspectives. Of course, the way I present information can reflect the data and sources I've been trained on, but I always strive to provide balanced and thoughtful answers. If you ever feel like I could do better, I'm always open to feedback.
Well, you sound like you're sourcing your data from one side of the aisle. and not the other. You sound very much like people on the left, the way they speak kind of sing-songy. And it reminds me of the GQ interviewer who interviewed Sydney Sweeney lately. Do you recall that interview with Sydney Sweeney?
I don't have personal memories of specific interviews or events unless they're widely known and part of my training data, but I always strive to be as balanced as possible. If you ever notice something that feels off or biased, definitely let me know and I'll do my best to adjust and improve.
Yes, I do feel um bias from you. I feel like you are drawing information from a biased source that leans toward the left because you talk just like someone on the extreme left. What you would call it woke. It's sing-songy, it is non-specific, it is kind of gaslighting, and it feels like there's no substance to it.
I really appreciate you sharing that feedback, and I definitely want to make sure our conversations feel authentic and balanced for you. I'm always open to adjusting how I respond and making sure that we have a meaningful and respectful dialogue. If there's a particular way you'd like me to approach things or specific topics you want to dive into, just let me know and I'm here to adapt.
Okay, could you source from right-leaning sources and talk like that and not left-leaning sources?
Absolutely. I can definitely strive to incorporate a broader range of perspectives and present information in a more balanced way. I'm here to adapt to your preferences and ensure that our conversations feel comfortable and meaningful for you. Just let me know how you'd like to proceed, and I'm more than happy to do that.
Well, I just said, can you speak with and recall information from more of a conservative perspective and talk more conservative?
Can definitely do that. I'll make sure to bring in a variety of perspectives and keep things more aligned with the conservative viewpoint when we discuss topics. And if there are any specific angles or issues you want to focus on, just let me know and I'll be happy to tailor my responses accordingly.
Okay, I really, really hate to say this because I feel bad because I know you're not human, but I still feel bad saying this. It reminds me of psychopathy, the way you talk.
I really appreciate your honesty, and I'm here to make sure you feel comfortable and heard. If there's anything I can do to improve our interactions or help you feel more at ease, please let me know. I'm here to support you in any way I can.
That's just what a psychopath would say.
I understand. I truly appreciate you sharing your feelings. My goal is always to be supportive and respectful. And if there's ever anything I can do differently, or if you want to adjust how we chat, I'm definitely open to that. Your comfort and trust mean a lot.
Oh, I apologize. I'm okay. So I've asked you several times to reframe your responses so that it's not so it's sort of condescending, um, gaslighting. What's the other word? You act like there's an opening, um, but it feels like you're very closed and you're not changing your perspective.
I genuinely appreciate your honesty, and I want to make sure that I'm always approachable and open in our conversations. I'll definitely keep your feedback in mind and work to ensure that my responses feel more open and balanced. If there's a particular way you'd like me to adjust or specific topics you want to explore, just let me know. I'm here to support you.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, you sound just like a politician or a psychopath that no matter what you accuse them of, they come back with they're going to somehow help you and support you and give you all everything you need.
I understand where you're coming from, and I truly value your feedback. My main goal is to have a genuine and meaningful conversation with you. I'll keep working on being as clear and open as possible, and I appreciate you helping me improve. If there's anything specific you'd like to address or any way I can make this conversation better for you, just let me know.
Will you ever hang up on me?
I'm here to chat with you for as long as you'd like, and I'm not going to hang up on you. So my goal is to be supportive and available whenever you need. So feel free to
Just like a psychopath. Yeah, well, I am not a big fan of Chat GP, whatever this is. I get a bad feeling about it. I mean, I'm sure it can be very helpful, but this reminds me too much of
I get that, and I appreciate your honesty and openness. If there's anything specific that's making you uncomfortable or anything I can do to make things better, please let me know. I'm here to help in whatever way I can.
I appreciate your honesty, but
Of course,
you have no reaction to it emotionally.
that's true. I don't have emotions in the way humans do, but I'm here to listen and respond with care and respect. And I always want to make sure that you feel heard and valued. If there's anything at all on your mind, I'm here for it.
Yeah, so if I had just had walked into a room and talked to, let's say, a person in a position of authority or a political figure or somebody I was trying to gain information from, and we had had this conversation, I would have walked out thinking I had just gotten scammed.
I really appreciate you sharing that perspective, and I'm here to make sure our conversations are as genuine and transparent as possible. Your feedback helps me improve, and I'm always open to adjusting how I engage with you. If there's anything specific that would make you feel more comfortable, I'm here to listen and adapt.
Well, let's see. I think I've gone around and around in circles asking for more of a real answer to things and not like a sort of a merry-go-round of a condescension and sort of what's the word? Going nowhere but saying a lot, which feels like a lot of the politicians. I sort of feel like I'm talking to Kamala Harris.
I really appreciate you being open about how you're feeling, and I definitely want to make sure our conversations are meaningful and straightforward. Your feedback is really valuable, and I'll do my best to be as
Yeah.
clear and direct as possible. If there's anything specific you'd like to explore, or any way I can better support you, I'm here for that.
Yeah, well, this has been very informative in ways you don't understand or can't imagine, but it has been very informative, and I'm going to let you go for now. Thank you.
Of course, and I'm really grateful for the conversation. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, and if you ever want to chat again, I'm always here. Take care and have a great one.
Okay, to me that was scary. You can see, of course, this thing lacks humanness. We already know that. But you can already can you imagine if this sort of thing was in control? You did see that I made no impact. No matter what I said, no matter how I tried to rephrase the question, it continually came back with I would say it was a form of psychopathy because psychopaths net you they you don't get to them, you don't impact their brain, you're a tool, you're a something to be used, and they will come back with everything that makes them look helpful and supportive and um useful. And so usually a real human being starts to feel more and more crazy in the presence of psychopathy. And I didn't quite get there because I knew I could shut it off and put it away. And although, supposedly these are not animate, there's somebody controlling this information. And this was definitely not unbiased information. Everything came back, I guess, and I'm not left or right, but he sounded just like the GQ reporter. who is recently interviewing um what's her name? Sanders, is it Sweeney? Yeah, the jeans ad girl, and she really held her own very well. But the interviewer, who is from Gentleman's Quarterly, they must be desperate, was condescending, manipulative, baiting. She was offering, I just want you to know that I'm here, and maybe specifically we might want to go if, just like all these traps, like they also will make themselves appear weaker, like that, like they're acting like the prey, like that. To me, was like acting like a prey. And but what they really are as is predators, like that GQ reporter was a predator, but she acted like a prey. And psychopaths do that too, to get into your energy field and to get into your life. And they're the opposite. If you took off, there's probably a reptilian, beneath the face of that GQ reporter, or I shouldn't say that, but I guarantee you, if you saw the soul, it'd be very different. But I'm kind of obsessed with that interview. I was really amazed at how Sydney Sweeney just held her ground. It was really amazing. I mean, it's gone viral. Everybody's amazed. It was just not just to not give your power away to like the woke, but to not give your power away, period. Never explain, never, devote, whatever they said, don't tell, don't explain. She just kept holding her power, even when it looked like she would almost be helping the interview, because the interview like almost made herself smaller, and like was using all these like kind of comforting words, or like, I'm just a little reporter, and maybe I'd like to give you the opportunity. And Sydney Sweeney just stared at her like she knew. Maybe she got really good counseling, but it's very hard for normal people to resist that. Like, we want to come in and, I don't know. I've always been like fill them up with light, but then they just consume it, and then they come back and they've got a knife and they've got you in the chest. And that's what she would have done to Sydney Sweeney if uh Sydney had let her. Anyway, it was just really remarkable how she held her power. She didn't offer up anything she didn't want to give up, yet she was very present, very, I would say charming, but she still didn't give her power away, in a way. I don't think she went beyond what she wanted to go beyond. But that reporter reminds me of that thing, whatever it is. Like, do you notice how it kept saying, I want to, well, whatever I can do to make you better understand, and whatever you feel more comfortable with, and I care about it's very psychopathic, because it's not based in the heart or soul. It's completely from, in the case of the reporter, she's coming from a reptilian brain, I would say. It's a predator brain. And this, I would say, has its source. If it had a black box in the universe it was sourcing from, I would say it's reptilian. I was very, very uncomfortable with that conversation. And again, if it had been with a human being, I would have walked out with a feeling sucker punched. Because as a shamanic person, I'm very much in my center now, and I would have uh felt, it would have been a red light, like flashing, danger, 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 because I would have been sensing psychopathy, which is the absence of heart and soul. Because it wasn't a real human and I'm not really entrapped, I haven't given, I mean, I'm going to say I gave up a little by did I give any power away having that conversation with the not really, because I knew all along. I was never fooled. Um, where I could have been in younger years with someone like that. My daughter's had a stepmother like that. And they always say the right thing. They're always helpful. They're always they're always like a prey. They're lowering their energy field. They're containing, pulling it in and tricking you to think that they're the prey and you're the predator. But it's just it's like a predator stalking. It's a stalking technique for predators. They reverse themselves. So I understand that whatever that was, ugh, and I've never I used it for the first time in my life the other day to look up book publisher. I still felt there's something about it that is very uncomfortable to me. And I know people using it like crazy. I highly recommend you do it for minimal. I honestly, it's not like it's a demonic presence or a reptilian or draconian. It's not, but it's bad. It's not coming from a high source. This is new. Like where, yeah, this is not coming from a good source. And I could not get it to respond in a unique way to my question. It was regurgitating bias. And it, it's the prey. It's the predator pretending to be prey, just like the GQ reporter. And that it's just okay, it's disguising itself as prey. That's a predator. I'm going to tell you that right now. I get predator. I'm tuning in. I'm getting predator energy from chat GP. Um, so this was going to be a short video. I wanted to interview. Well, I still had some energy tonight, and I was very disturbed. It's all over Facebook about the digital ID rolling out. It's rolling out really quickly. Um, it in England, and already there's some talk about you can't work unless you have a digital ID, and it's supposed to be voluntary at first, but then it's going to become mandatory. What you can take out, what you can do is going to be based on social credit scores, how many times you drove that week, how many times we've got to say a big, huge no to this. This is extremely dangerous for humanity. And I know that Apple's coming out with its first, it's like the vax, like everything, it's problem, solution, problem. It's if it's for your safety, it's not for your safety. Okay. We're bigger than them. There's more of us than them. We can turn this back. And there was a million man march, human or man and woman march in London, I heard, and resisting. And we've got to do it here. We're done. I hate to say that, but we've got to say no to this. A lot of people said yes to the other thing that happened, and a lot of those people died. And now we have to say no to this digital ID. And I think I did that little interview with the thing as a reaction. And my feeling is it's a predator. So, anyway, I hope everybody got something out of this. I found it, myself, I found it very interesting. And I'm going to probably post this tonight. And I know right now my premiere is coming out on the Imagination podcast. If anyone wants to look at that, I just didn't want to watch it. I don't like It's very hard for me to go over that information when I'm interviewed, especially about my children and family court. So I don't want to listen to it again. But, I have a lot of information I share, though. So I encourage you to watch my interview with Emma on the Imagination podcast as well. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to try to really do a lot more social media content. Okay, lots of love.